How's it going, nerds and geeks out here? And we're back here on Talladega. That's the last video that I just did over here. And because it's absolutely finally clear out here, because the last video was overcast. And right now, in this game called for a NASCAR Car of Tomorrow, testing around for the 2010 since Gran Turismo 5. We put in right here for ourselves to do like this. This is absolutely going to be only one thing. And what I just going to be starting without. We have no 3 manufacturers. We didn't absolutely. We have 4 remaining manufacturers to go. We have some kind of currently we have Dodge, Toyota, and Ford. And because Pontiac got removed for this thing. And before Generation 5. And because but actually this, as we have the currently, we have the Chevrolet for only one thing without further notice. And some, despite of many of these cars, it's cannot able to get for around for scroll too fast. It's gonna be loud, and probably this is something that's gonna be very noisy. Is going to jump inside of the car. And let's go into ready for out for 5 lap testing. Or 10 lap testing around for this 2010s around for this one. And because that restricted off with some, removed the Car of Tomorrow wing and replaced it right into the buffer, so look like this. It's not a buffer like that one, and because it's not a wing, it was for a some kind of brake force is gonna be using this, but extremely on the front splitter might be removed around for this one before 2011 regulations look like for the perfect aerodynamics, but the bad aerodynamics is what you cause for this some kind of worse thing. Even because of the modifications sounds really bad as well, and because despite someone is absolutely doesn't like for this one and the wing itself, and probably even it's replaced with the buffers as well. Even for the 2010 season, we're gonna be ready for it, and let's jump in. And I wonder how this is gonna be very loud, so I'm just gonna be zooming out, and it's pretty loud. When I'm just gonna be getting closer, this is probably more louder than I ever despite seeing this. Even when I was ready, this is gonna be costing for about for just yet. If I accelerate, it started to move. When it's just gonna be using for the arrows while turning, that turns the camera all over to this place, going for 360. So as you can, despite these things, starting in lap times of the time trails, we're going all the way to about for speeds, about for 4 turns, and the final stretch on the turn number 5. I cannot believe it. This is going to be going for the longest super track ever. It's not a super track. It's the super speedway that I just actually wanted to see in Talladega. Now let's going to be accelerating for our first time. And because this is absolutely going to be only one thing. The top speed is 196 miles per hour or kilometers an hour. And because this is pretty loud as really hell to do so. There is no AI racing, but I'm going to be going in front of this. Even I'm going to be going inside of this inside of this vehicle, won't be absolutely necessary to turn it some kind of stand or like this thing. Let's just going to be starting around the lap time trails. We're going down for below, and as you can see for his final results of the lap times, is not going to be making for such as necessary, as the lap time has got failed, which is absolutely ruined for just going to be going on the way. And right now we have started for the lap times, and the lap time has been counted for its first time. And as you can see, without touching the yellow line, won't be going to be necessary as always. Now it does not able to touch around the yellow line, but almost got itself for many seconds of penalty as possible. And this is going to be recently hit the lap times, as we're not going to be doing for it. Just something is going to be restricted going on out here, as you're going to be trying to go down and against one. without touching the yellow line onto turn number 3 and 4, including turn 1 and 2. And the final stretch as well, as we're going to be trying to do what is not doing for such as the best idea. So even if it's not going to be very such as the worst thing, we got for another lap counted as well. And because of this only one thing, we have the fastest lap. Well, we have our cinematic view. It's not a cinematic like these things as well. And because this isn't really available inside of the free camera as well, and according to like this one, if we're just going to be doing for the free camera, it's not available for this one. And I don't really think that we're going to be using for this one. And I think a few moments ago that they're just going to be using the color red as the Chevy Impala SS. And I think this is absolutely for a red color like the car of tomorrow. What if it's despite someone is going to be being like this thing? All over, this is going to be going all over to this thing. I just literally touching the yellow line, that results for the penalties as well. And because this is only for one like these things, is I'm going to be trying to make it satisfied to go up. And this isn't going to be going for very much worse. I really need to do something that's going to be going for very fast, as I'm just going to be liking this video, or subscribe, or some kind of like in this game. This will took me over 60 seconds, and it's going to be trying to take around for this. It's not going to be very worse at this one. It took for 60 seconds, or over 60 seconds onto this lap time. So we're officially in lap number 6, as we're going to be taking without further notice. I'm not going to be making sure this is going to be such as a little bit of worse idea, but continually that hitting the wall that can cause for prevention of lap times, making penalties for a lot of these things. As we're going to be continuing to speeding down onto 106 miles an hour into the turn number 3. Now I won't be able to get pausing for this thing. So by the way, in lap number 2, that is just going to be despite finishing for many laps as possible, and because of our last 2 laps, does not matter. And continuously with corner cuts, we have a for 1 sharp penalty about for this thing. So we're in lap number 7, 2 laps to go. Unfortunately, it feels a little bit for just going to be worse or out of control. And my connection isn't gonna be running so good anymore, and because of the boost performance isn't gonna be very working as well. And I'm probably is gonna be tired for a little bit of a moment, and this is gonna be for a very satisfying connection, and turning itself is gonna be worse. Now let's just gonna be started to get down here at the bottom, and I might just touching the yellow line as well, because causing penalties is going to be very hard and long as well. So the white flag has been going to be dropped off, and we have certainly I never did. Now we just going to be took it for a very long time, because I almost going to be very survived for most likely 10 laps, and it completely froze. I almost got froze, and continually with wall rides. And around the final lap, continues to froze. Oh dear, my connection is gonna be out of date. After a lot of swearing minutes, after we're gonna be doing a go for about for this thing, let's just gonna be doing for continuance for a last couple of laps. I think this is the lap number 9, and it's gonna be saving time. After we just gonna be completely saving time by using the car of tomorrow. And about for this thing. So starting on for this moment, if we're gonna be doing fast, and whatever that we try to say, it's gonna be the last 2 laps before the white flag has been dropped off for its one more for a decade ago for this thing. Now as you can see, there's some kind of AI cars should be gonna be restarting on ourselves. If we're going to be going back into K&L or K&N racing for the last 2 times, and about for a situation. So it is gonna be to tickle for a very long time, even for its last 10 parts. And now the white flag has been dropped off, and I can't believe it. This is the final lap that we're gonna be doing so. And we're just gonna be doing after we have been trying again, and before we seeing our results, it's gonna be a total failure. And because due to my connection is getting a lot more worse than I ever expected. But the last scene that isn't gonna be to make itself, or just gonna be where a second computer has been disabled down, or look like for a furtherance crashing, which means my boost performance connection is still immobile, or something kind of a boost performance has been enabled for connection. And now, and yesterday, the boost performance has been disabled, and because I really think the checkered flag has been dropped off, and we have furtherance for the finish. Unfortunately, the second computer has been maintained and re-enabled back for more internet connection, and because my internet connection is going to be something kind of a ruin like this thing, or some kind of, oh no, I really don't think my connection is finally unstable for sure. And because I really think we're completely feeling so offline for this, and we're actually going to be returning back into the pits. Now let's just going to be reducing back into the pits as well. And we have got to be seeing our results for its very first. Now we're going to be going for a passing line of these cars, well, pit entry, and looks like we got our first results in about for our last 10 laps. If the car is finally stopped, and you might gonna be getting out, and it's safe to say to jump out of the car, and if you jump out of the car, that automatically despawns the vehicle. So as you can see, this is under 60 seconds and about 54 seconds, and the fastest lap time will be absolutely 54.046. That is the most likely fastest lap on Earth, and for our under 55 seconds we got here. So if you like for today's video in about Car of Tomorrow testing around Gran Turismo 5 vehicle, testing it around for all of the track, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and click that bell if you just absolutely enjoyed for notifications about for these new videos are gonna be coming up for just the very many most recently of the time as well. So thanks for watching and about for this video, and I hope you are gonna be see you all perfect viewers and mini lads all later, that which will be Jumper Concept is gonna be signing off.